The moment we stepped into Egypt, I knew life would never be the same. I was just a boy when it happened. One day we were struggling to survive in Canaan, hungry and weak from the famine. The next, we were packing up everything we owned, leaving behind the land we had always called home. It started when my grandfather, Israel, gathered all of us, his sons, their wives, and their children. He was an old man, but his voice was strong.
Yusuf is alive,
He said, looking around at us.
and he is ruler over all of Egypt.
The news shook us. Yusuf, our uncle, the one we had thought was dead for years, now second in command to Pharaoh himself, like King Pharaoh himself. It sounded like something out of a dream. But then came the hard part.
We are going to Egypt,
Grandfather said.
all of us.
That night, as we prepared to leave, Grandfather had a vision from God. The next morning, he told us.
God spoke to me.
He said,
Do not be afraid to go to Egypt. I will make your family into a great nation there, and I will bring you back again.
So we packed. The journey was long, and some of the younger children cried from hunger and exhaustion. We traveled in wagons Yusuf had sent for us. The older men walked, leading the animals. Every night we slept under the open sky, wondering what Egypt would be like. When we finally arrived, my uncle Yusuf came to meet us in his royal chariot. I barely recognized him. He wore fine clothes. This my uncle said. He shaved like the Egyptians. And people bowed when he passed. But when he saw Grandfather, he ran to him and wept like a child. That night, Yusuf told us what would happen next.
King Pharaoh has given you the land of Goshen.
He said,
You will live there and you will have food, and your flocks will grow.
The next day, Yusuf took 5 of my uncles to meet King Pharaoh. We all waited anxiously. Would Pharaoh accept us? Would he let us stay? Pharaoh looked at my uncles.
What is your occupation?
He asked.
We are shepherds,
They answered.
like our fathers before us.
King Pharaoh nodded.
You may settle in the land of Goshen. If any of you are skilled, let them take charge of my own livestock as well.
Then Grandfather himself stood before Pharaoh. The ruler of Egypt looked at him with wonder.
How old are you?
Pharaoh asked.
I have seen many hard years.
Grandfather replied.
130. My life has been full of trouble, but God has been with me.
Then he did something unexpected. He lifted his hands and blessed Pharaoh, a shepherd from Canaan, blessing the most powerful man in the world. Life in Goshen was good for us. We had food and our animals thrived. But outside, Egypt suffered. The famine grew worse. People came to Yusuf begging for food. First, they traded their silver. When that was gone, they gave their livestock. When they had nothing left, they also gave their land, and finally, themselves.
Buy us and our land in exchange for food.
They pleaded.
We will be Pharaoh's servants.
Yusuf agreed. He gave them seeds to plant and made a law. They could keep most of their crops, but 1/5 must always go to Pharaoh. Years passed and Grandfather grew weaker. One day he called for Yusuf. I sat quietly nearby watching.
If I have found favor in your eyes,
Grandfather said, his voice low but firm.
promise me something. Do not bury me in Egypt. When I die, take me back to the land of my fathers and bury me there.
Yusuf bowed his head.
I will do as you say, Father. Swear it to me.
Grandfather insisted. Yusuf placed his hand under Grandfather's thigh, the way our people swore solemn oaths.
I swear it.
He said. Grandfather sighed in relief and leaned back.
Then I can rest.
Meanwhile, we prospered in Goshen. Our numbers grew, our flocks multiplied, and we lacked nothing. But deep down, I knew one thing for sure.
We are in a new home, but not our own.
And Grandfather never let us forget it. Thank you for following me to this very point. If you enjoy amazing, great stories like this, please subscribe to this channel and follow for more. I love you.